the State Farm Champions Classic. Here at State Farm Arena in Atlanta, this is an ESPN Sonic blockbuster. And if that tease doesn't get you fired up for what's to come tonight and for the rest of the season, well, it has to. It's been a great start to the college basketball.
Michigan State to get their running game going.
Kansas 2-0, including the big win over Carolina Friday night. Michigan State also 2-0, but they haven't been tested like they'll be tested tonight. They had wins over Monmouth and Niagara before this game here tonight. The Jayhawks with the opening possession, and no surprise, a touch for Hunter Dickinson, and Kansas leads. The starting five for the Spartans, including 3 returning players. We told you about Jaden Akins. Jay mentioned Shimon Zapawa, also Frankie Fiddler. This is Fears up top, and Dickens cross court, and Xavier Booker long on the 3. And back come the Jayhawks. Both teams want to play at a pretty fast pace, right?
Well, yeah, Kansas really needs to move the ball because this is not a pressure defensive team that North Carolina has. They're more, that
mid-footer. Griffin. Boy, Kansas bound and determined to get that ball into Dickinson for a touch. He goes to the right hand, Jay, and knocks it home.
Well, single coverage, he can take his time. And he's got Zapawa on his back. He hasn't been able to get an angle to the basket, but he can just shoot right over. He wants to get to that left hand.
It's Dickinson 6 and Michigan State nothing. 2 minutes and 40 seconds in. Akins. And he knocks it down. He's a senior. This is his last. Number 55 in green. Trying to stay with Zeke Mayo, the former South Dakota State Jackrabbit, who is averaging 20 a game through the first 2 for Kansas. Give him an assist as Dickinson has another bucket.
Dickinson has had his way with the Michigan State defense to start this game.
Jeremy Fears Jr., the sophomore, back at the helm for Michigan State. And Carson Cooper will slam it home. The best possession of the night so far for the guys in green.
They went to a little horn set. 2 at the foul lines extended, and 2 in the corners. And then Cooper was just able to set that screen and roll right to the basket with no help. Excellent play out of the timeout by Tom Izzo.
And now a wide open 3 won't go for A.J. Storr, the transfer from Wisconsin. So he's familiar with the Spartans as well. And a push is the call, a foul.
Fine, so he's definitely excited about those 2 last possessions.
Just thank you for these teams. And it's kind of normal to see the teams maybe needing a few minutes to settle in and look like themselves.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, these are higher level games than most teams have played. And Kansas being the exception, playing North Carolina and Allen Fieldhouse, and what an atmosphere that was. My ears are still ringing.
Yeah, even by Fog Allen, by Fog standards, it was unbelievable. Dickinson can't get it to go, but he will go to the low. Said of his guys, he felt KJ Adams was the
way to the basket. He'll catch it kind of in the middle of the screen and the basket, and he can spray it out. KJ Adams, even though KJ Adams played 37 minutes against North Carolina, that's not what he wanted.
And Fiddler is fouled, and that is Storr again, and that'll be his 2nd foul.
Last year at Omaha, 400 free throws in his last 2 seasons.
And Griffin no, and Carr down for the Spartans. Both teams have gone cold. Carr into the body of Badunga, and he draws the foul. And from the line, and True on the first. And Michigan State right now, Tom Izzo just made 3 subs, and Carr at 6. Plus coming to you live from Greensboro, and also the 2024-2025 Women's Basketball Hall of Fame class will be announced during that telecast.
I know one person that thinks that Paige Becker is going to be the force, her and Juju Watkins at USC. Offensive play that DeJuan Harris at the free throw line now made at the end of the game against North Carolina, where
Harris scoops it up, had it blocked. He's behind the play. Michigan State running. Akins in the corner. And back up and in by Jackson Kohler.
Because DeJuan Harris had gone to the ground after trying to make that shot for that game in the first half against Michigan State.
Mayo the kick. Harris the extra pass, gets it back. And still neither team has made a 3 in this game. Booker's going to try it. Boy, Griffin effortlessly getting down the court. He looks like he's gliding, and he's gliding right on by people.
Long shot by Xavier Booker. That means long rebound. And if you get that rebound, if you're Michigan State, you can get a great opportunity. If you give up that long rebound, it starts Kansas's transition.
Cooper from Fears, the second time they've connected tonight.
And no weak side help. Hunter Dickinson all by himself to try to stop that. He's actually talking to Ryland Griffin about that, saying, hey, man, where's the help?
Cooper with 6 early points. Spartans by 2. Dickinson from the elbow to tie it.
Another pocket pass.
Since his freshman year, he's now 6'11", listed at 240. Dickinson the miss. Here comes Jace Richardson. And a great hesitation to lay it in. Michigan State leads.
Boy, that's Michigan State basketball. Not the miss, but just getting it down the floor so quickly.
Dickinson up and in to tie the game. He's got 12 of their 16.
I have never understood the too small gesture after you score.
Yeah.
Why would you want to take away from your own basket? You want people to think, I just did something great.
Fears gets a switch. Oh, and that went in. I don't know how. I don't know if he meant it, but it's about. Couple of subs waiting to check in for each team right now. Just over 5 minutes to go in the first half. Harris. Beautiful find to Badunga, and he Fears. How did he find Booker? Have you ever been at a game since the three-point shot came in when neither team made a three in the first half?
No, I never have.
And the streak continues.
I never have. The first shot that Jaden Akins took on that possession wasn't the best he could have had.
Griffin into the paint, finds Badunga for another slam. Timeout, Tom Izzo. Hard to come up with a rebound.
He has got a knack for rebounding. And a really good offensive rebounder. He averages 4 a game on this young season.
Richardson scoops it up and in. That was pretty.
Jace Richardson.
Harris using the screen by Dickinson. Now Griffin the pull-up. And it goes. The basket will count. And a foul underneath going, I believe, against Michigan State as well. Or is it on Dickinson? It's on Dickinson, but the basket will count. The teammate a couple of weeks ago, so he has put the mask back on to protect it as he misses the front end.
I like that mask better than the clear ones.
Yes.
Gives you kind of a Batman
look. It does. He looks fearsome. Hoyt again from Northern Illinois, averaged 21 points per game.
Take it all the way down, still have plenty of time for an offensive rebound opportunity.
Badunga again. Boy, he leaves nothing to chance around the rim.
They are so good on those ball reversals and getting a seal down low.
Richardson pulls up for 3, and it goes, and a foul.
Boy, what an answer from Jace Richardson.
Richardson with a team high 8. 1.7 on the clock. Whoa, Cohen Carr showing you some of those hops as he comes down with it at the end of the first half. And it is a 6-point lead for Kansas. Hunter Dickinson.
But he is not. They're not going to double. They just got to be more careful with the curls. There's nothing wrong with our defense. We held this amazing team to 30 points.
Jess, thank you. We are now ready for the second half of our Sonic blockbuster matchup here with the State Farm Champions Classic. Coming to you from State Farm Arena here in Atlanta. Michigan State down by 6. The first possession belongs to them, and Jeremy Fears is headed to the line. Of the season last year, he is a redshirt freshman.
On his hip, and when he was trailing, it just went right back into him more often than any other passer that Tom Izzo has.
You know, I've noticed ever since the Dodgers won the World Series, you're really throwing the baseball references out there.
As well I should.
A block, and it's Michigan State ball.
Good late help here with that by Xavier Booker with that long left hand, able to knock that ball away.
Dickinson and Badunga offensively, and that one won't go as Zapawa did a good job to keep Dickinson from getting too close to the rim.
Yeah, he forced him further out. That's a long jump hook.
And there's Frankie Fiddler doing one of the things that Michigan State wants him to do, and that's get to the free throw line.
He needs to get better contributions from Griffin, Storr.
And all transfers, right? So there, you would imagine there is kind of a getting used to it period when you come to a new program. I mean, we're going to see it with Kentucky in the second game. They've got an entirely new team. No two guys on that team had ever played together before they came to Lexington this year. Dickinson swings it to Adams. Mayo gets his man in the air, cradles it, puts it up, and hits.
He has such a good shot fake, and because you know that he can really shoot it, it increases your likelihood of biting on that fake.
And Zeke Mayo, again, a Lawrence, Kansas native. Played at South Dakota State, but now with the Jayhawks as a transfer. Fears finds Zapawa.
You know, A.J. Storr has to do a better job there. If K.J. Adams comes as the tag guy to take that away, he's leaving a wide open shooter.
Dickinson over the top for the easy two.
Well, he does such a good job on ball reversal of getting a seal, and Kansas throws right over the top. That's really difficult to stop. You play behind him, he can back you in. You play in front of him, they throw over the top. 6
previous games against Michigan State in his time with the Wolverines. And Dickinson averaging. Kohler wide open. Short on the three. Mayo ahead to Griffin. And a foul from behind on Cohen Carr. A year ago that went to the Final Four. It was a double-digit score.
NCAA tournament game against North Carolina, and just a fabulous basketball.
And Kentucky in the second game. Trey Holloman. Michigan State now 1 for 14 from three-point range. Griffin sets his feet and hits.
Boy, give credit to Zeke Mayo. That's his 6th rebound. That started the break, and he found Rylan Griffin wide open in the corner on that fast break. And Zeke Mayo's done a really good job defensively in this game, mostly on Jaden Akins when he's been guarding him.
Holloman the step back, and that will go. 3-point game. So Holloman at the point. Richardson is out there. Cohen Carr as well. Carr's been quiet tonight. He excels more in an up and down transition type of game. Nice little move. Simple move there by Jackson Kohler to make it a 1-point game.
A little false action, swinging the wings up top just to get Kohler isolated in the low post. And he's got really good footwork and a very good post player.
Zapawa, Kohler, Cooper, 3 big guys kind of rotating in and out. 2 of them on the floor right now. And here playing college basketball.
And one of the great defenders in college basketball. But I mean, how many times has that young man met the moment in big games?
Yeah. Doesn't take many shots, but he shoots a good percentage when he does. And with the assist that he has picked up tonight, has moved into 3rd on Kansas's all-time assist list. Granted an extra year because of COVID, but he's behind only Aaron Miles and Jacque Vaughn. And another basket for Jackson Kohler.
He's the leading rebounder for this team. He's averaging over 10 rebounds a game coming into this one. And the second.
Mayo into Dickinson. Very physical move, and it'll go for Hunter Dickinson, who's now got 19.
With Jace Richardson pressure.
There's still a lot of time on the shot clock. Fears the drive. Can't get a shot off. Needs some help. Richardson cuts, dishes, and Kohler scores again.
Boy, a great late cut by Jace Richardson to make himself available to Jeremy Fears. Then Hunter Dickinson has to help up. Just a quick drop off. Really nice.
I know you talk about it a lot, but how much coaches value a good cutter. That is going to count for Dickinson. Things are starting to pick up offensively for both teams after a very cold shooting night. Fears. And Carr will slam it home to tie it up. And it's tied again. Again, one-on-one, Dickinson and Kohler. Oh, and Carr called for the goaltend.
Well, after
And in theory, I think Army might be able to get high enough to be one of the 5 highest ranked conference champions. And I do think there's a scenario in which all of those SEC teams you mentioned will all make the field.
Reese, thank you very much.
keep attacking the paint.
No Dickinson on the floor right now. Zapawa can't finish it. He was looking for a foul. And Storr's going to land one opportunity at the other end.
What a turnaround. Zapawa had a dunk.
Which he does. Look at Carr. I mean, he just gets so much higher than anybody else, but he couldn't come down with it. Now Griffin puts it on the deck. Nice feed to Adams, who stays with it.
Oftentimes, when you miss a close one, the offensive player has the best chance to go get it.
And a finish at the other end and a chance for 3.
Well, this reminds you a little bit.
Carr tips it, and it's out of bounds to Kansas.
He can pass out of it, especially on that right block where he can use his left hand to hook pass cross court.
Harris into Dickinson, who lays it in.
His help, and then you can kick it out.
Michigan State had tied it. Now the Jayhawks back out to a 5-point lead. Good look for Carr. And a foul on Kansas called on A.J. Storr. Fiddler at the line. That is the 4th
From the free throw line. Saw a similar thing with North.
18-footer Dickinson. Akins knocks it away from Badunga, and it's Spartan basketball. Kohler to tie. Got it! Foul notwithstanding, Jackson Kohler has been a huge part of the Spartans' comeback.
With this lineup, I think Kansas needs to move the ball and move themselves a little bit more.
Adams looked like he lost it on the way up.
Is that
And Adams.
that was not an easy shot. He certainly can make it and has made it before.
Harris on the drive. The open man is Storr, who hits the 3.
Well, he's just remarkable, DeJuan Harris, when he gets under that basket of finding people out on the perimeter.
Fears tried to reverse it up and in. And he's going to get called for the foul.
That's the second time he's made that move. So he's capable of doing that. But each possession he tries to make the right play for that possession.
Spent some time with the USA Select team, the team that played against the U.S. Olympic team as they got ready for Paris. And by all accounts, he more than held his own. He really opened up some eyes. And again, he's playing against the best players in the world when you're going out against that team. Zapawa's pass knocked away, and it's going to be a foul called on Harris.
Akins only has 2 points in this game. He's 1 of 7. And he hasn't had many. He's got 6 assists.
And give him another rebound. Threw it away. Fears. Into Fiddler, who lays it in.
Nice little Euro.
The senior from Bellevue, Nebraska, making his presence felt in this game. The Spartans back within 3. A foul on Kohler and Adams. Well, if nobody did it, how can you prove
nobody in America did it?
Yeah.
This is before the.
Adams not having his best night, but he is knocking down his free throws. 4 for 4 from the line.
Double high screens. There'll be a roll and then a wide pin for Fiddler.
Moving without the ball, and Fiddler heading back to the line.
Oftentimes when you see that action, two big guys.
Fiddler, an example of what is so common in college basketball these days, where players are
The transfer portal is a player like Frankie Fiddler, who had a terrific career at Omaha, and then Zeke Mayo, who had it, and they've earned that. Just because they were under recruited out of high school doesn't mean they should be relegated to that for their whole careers or have to give up a year of their lives to sit out in order to get that.
Rylan Griffin buries it from the corner.
Well, he is a catch and shoot three-point shooter. You have to make him drive it.
Kansas now 5 for 16 from beyond the arc. Michigan State 2 for 17. Zapawa up and good.
Good footwork to get around the defender and put that up with the right hand.
Second bucket of the night for Shimon Zapawa. The answer to the other end for Harris. Fears couldn't get it up on the glasses. Open man. Fiddler leaves it short, gets it back, and then turns it over. Harris takes the bump and finishes.
What great, that's a big time play. Hunter Dickinson using that body, Fiddler on the ground. And then watch the contact. He took it and then used the left hand, never took his eyes off the rim. Even after the bump until he hit the deck is
Harris. And his 9th point extends it to a 9 after the Spartans tied it on a few occasions here in the second half.
Another rebound by Zeke Mayo. He's done a really good job on the glass.
And out of bounds to the Spartans. To break, and Hunter Dickinson felt it was off of Cooper, not off of him. It appears that he was correct. It did look like it went off of Cooper, but again, it's not something you can review in Kansas basketball history. They have some kind of tradition, don't they? Boy, a couple of looks at a three. Kohler. And the finish by Carr, but Michigan State continues to come up empty from beyond the arc. 2 for 21. Almost impossible to win a game when you can't make threes.
And it's really difficult when your best player, Jaden Akins, has only scored 2 points. I mean, Jaden Akins is 1 of 7 in this game. He's only taken 1 shot in the second half.
23 points in their first game against Monmouth, 10 against Niagara, just 2 tonight. Tipped up and in by Dickinson. He's got 28 points.
Well, he's been fantastic, but so is Zeke Mayo.
Holloman coast to coast, and a chance for 3.
Even after a made
with Jaden Akins, and Holloman is a junior who comes off the bench, but he's.
And I think Kansas, even though they've had a hard time moving bodies and moving the ball against Michigan State's defense, I think they got to let Hunter Dickinson touch it.
He'll come out to get it. Hand it off to Mayo. Mayo, little stutter step in the reverse. Beautifully done.
Boy, great hesitation dribble. Let the defense clear and then got to the other side of the basket to protect the ball to keep it from being blocked. He's been great in this game.
Michigan State needs some quick buckets. Down to a minute and a half to go. Fears. Kohler can't get a shot off. Shot clock down to 7. Fiddler for 3. And Griffin the rebound, and now Kansas going to be patient. And Jayhawk fans now rising to their feet here in Atlanta.
And Michigan State's got to make something happen here. We can't just let them run the clock down.
Knocked away. Fears with a steal and lays it in to make it a 6-point game. Timeout, Tom Izzo.
And with full court pressure, Kansas has to get the ball in and be strong with it.
Mayo over the top to Adams. They don't have to force anything. And does Michigan State come to foul now? Yes, they will.
I don't know why they didn't foul KJ Adams. I mean, Zeke Mayo is an outstanding. You don't do anything that's going to stop this clock.
8-point lead. Holloman pushing. Fiddler for three. Yes. And it's a 5-point game as Tom Izzo uses another timeout. Adams comes to get it and immediately fouled by Richardson. And Michigan State's going to try to extend this game as much as they can. 4 for 4 from the line tonight. Tipped around. Kohler's got it. 2-possession game. Akins drives. Scoop no good. Dickinson has it.
Got some contact. Did not get the call. And that's going to put Michigan State in a difficult position if they want to try to win this game.
DeJuan Harris Jr. can base. 1 for 8, 2 points.
And actually it's 2 with that last one. 2 field goal attempts in the second half. That's just not enough for your best player.
Fiddler again. Short on this one. Mayo's got it. And that is going to be that. Kansas got a push at times in the second half, but they hold off Michigan State, and Bill Self becomes the all-time winningest coach in the history of Kansas Jayhawk basketball, surpassing Fog Allen with win number 591 as #1 Kansas beats Michigan State 77-69.